Pay for tolls with a larger bill like a 20 or 100, and you may have to fork over personal information. As 10 News investigative reporter Mike Deason has discovered, the Florida Department of Transportation has essentially been doing that and tried to cover it up when it was caught.
The toll taker says this is what happens when you give large bills like that. It's what we have to do. Meet Joel Chandler, who just paid his $1 toll on the Polk Parkway with a $100 bill, and he's not being allowed to leave unless he provides personal information to the toll taker.
So you all detain people until you get their personal information?
Yes, sir. It's a policy the Florida Turnpike Authority instituted for people who paid with $20, $50, or $100 bills. You give me the information, you can go.
I'm being detained, even though I've provided you legal tender. So why? Why am I being detained?
This is a serious criminal offense to illegally detain somebody without legal authority, which is exactly what they're doing.
Chandler called and emailed the Florida Department of Transportation to complain about the policy.
Their initial response was there is no policy to do this, which really made me concerned because it appeared that they were just individual rogue toll booth workers that were, detaining people.
But the practice continued at toll booth after toll booth, and if someone refused to provide the information, they were threatened with arrest. I can call FHP and they can come here and give you that information. Would you like for me to do that?
I'm asking what the statute is, that's all I want.
The deputy can tell you. Would you like for me to do that, sir?
So I'm being detained?
No, you can come up with another form of tender. Chandler continued to complain, and on July 21st at 7:19, he received this email from the Assistant General Counsel of the department saying, "We do not have sufficient information to investigate whatever he was talking about." But earlier in the day, there were a flurry of emails saying shut down the program, temporarily suspend it, and even who should call Chandler and what should they say.
Not only were they untruthful about the policy existing, they made a very concerted effort to cover it up.
One of the reasons the department might have not wanted the public to know about the program is because of the people who were being detained.
I think it's very clear from their own documents that there was a lot of racial profiling going on.
And when you look at these documents, you see that the department changed its policy as to who would be detained that gave a $20 bill, and in fact left it up to the discretion of the toll taker to determine who they thought was suspicious. The courts have routinely ruled that is unconstitutional because it relies on the individual preferences and prejudices of one person. And when you look at who was detained, almost all the time, it was a minority.
In 87% of the times where they bothered to write down what they thought was suspicious about the motorist, it was a racial description. Young black male, young black male, young black male, young Hispanic male.
Although the department refused to comment because it expects to be sued, internal emails justify the program because of counterfeit bills. However, in a 2.5-year period, the DOT got $16,000 in counterfeit bills, while at the same time it collected more than $1.5 billion in tolls. The department also says in emails the program will help law enforcement catch counterfeiters.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. The problem is, of the 885 times they claimed they've received counterfeit money during this 2-year period, not one was ever referred to any law enforcement agency of any description.
Meantime, Chandler estimates the illegal detainment has happened at least 5 million times.
So it's been crime upon crime upon crime upon crime, lie upon lie upon lie. All that's disturbing because these people got caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
That's why Chandler wants to file a class action suit against the state.
What it comes down to is the Department of Transportation has been engaged in what I think will obviously be seen by the courts as the largest criminal conspiracy in the history of the state.
And if the court were to award everyone who was detained even a small amount to compensate them, it could run into the hundreds of millions of dollars. Mike Deason, 10 News.
Now, some of the department suggested that the department use one of those green anti-counterfeit pens like most businesses do, but that was rejected. Meanwhile, the DOT spent $32,000 printing up forms to catch $16,000 in counterfeit bills.